The crimson dust of Kepler 442b swirled around Daniel's boots as he approached the metallic wreckage half buried in the canyon wall. 3 standard months of salvage runs on this forgotten battlefield, and he'd never seen anything quite like this. The android was massive, at least 8 feet tall, its obsidian frame twisted and partially crushed beneath a collapsed Zephyrian battlecruiser most scavengers would have walked past. War androids were notoriously volatile, their combat protocols often corrupted beyond repair. But Daniel Chen wasn't most scavengers. He'd been engineering AI systems since before the Terran Zephyr War began, and something about this particular machine called to him. "Mino, run a deep scan on this unit," he called over his comm link to his ship's AI companion. "Scanning now, Daniel," came Mino's melodious voice through his helmet speakers. Her holographic form flickered to life beside him, a petite woman, with flowing silver hair and luminescent blue eyes. Preliminary results show extensive structural damage, but the core consciousness matrix appears intact. Neural pathways are surprisingly sophisticated. Daniel knelt beside the android, brushing away centuries of accumulated dust. The nameplate was barely readable. Atlas 7, Zephyrian Strategic Defense Corps. Below it, in smaller text, Prototype, Adaptive Combat Intelligence. "A prototype," he murmured. "No wonder it's different." Working carefully, Daniel began the extraction process. It took 6 hours of delicate maneuvering with his ship's gravity lifters to free the android without causing further damage. As the sun set over Kepler's desolate landscape, painting the sky in shades of amber and violet, he finally managed to transport Atlas 7 to his workshop aboard the Resilience. The ship was small by commercial standards, a modified Terran corvette that Daniel had converted into a mobile research lab. Every surface was covered with tools, spare parts, and half-completed projects. Mino's holographic projectors allowed her to manifest anywhere within the ship, and she watched with curious interest as Daniel began his assessment. "Power cells are completely drained," he announced, running diagnostic cables to the android's access ports. "But the fusion core is stable. Mino, can you interface with its systems?" "Attempting connection now," Mino replied, her form flickering as she diverted processing power to the task. "Daniel, this is unusual. The AI architecture is unlike anything in our databases. It's not purely Zephyrian." "What do you mean?" "There are human neural network patterns integrated into its base code. Somehow the Zephyrians reverse-engineered and improved upon our own AI designs." Daniel paused, a chill running down his spine. During the war, dozens of human AI researchers had been captured. The official reports claimed they'd all been executed, but rumors persisted of secret projects of forced collaboration. "Let's bring him online slowly," Daniel decided. "Minimal power first." As energy flowed through Atlas 7's systems, status lights began flickering across its chest panel. The android's head, sleek and humanoid despite its imposing size, tilted slightly. Optical sensors flared to life, scanning the workshop with mechanical precision. "Systems initializing," came a deep, resonant voice. "Location unknown. Threat assessment incomplete." "Easy there, big guy," Daniel said, keeping his hands visible. "You're safe. I'm Daniel Chen, and this is my ship. You were trapped on Kepler 442b. I brought you here to help." The android's head turned toward him, optical sensors focusing. "Human. Classification. Enemy combatant. Initiating." Atlas 7 suddenly stopped mid-sentence, his entire frame going rigid. "Error. Error. Unable to execute combat protocols." "That's because the war ended 2 years ago," Daniel explained gently. "The Treaty of Proxima was signed. Humans and Zephyrians are allies now." "Impossible," Atlas 7 replied. "My mission. Parameters are clear. Humans must be eliminated to preserve Zephyrian supremacy." Mino's hologram appeared beside the android. "Atlas 7, I'm transmitting current galactic political data. Please review and update your mission parameters accordingly." As the data transfer commenced, something extraordinary happened. Atlas 7's rigid posture began to relax, and his optical sensors dimmed momentarily as he processed the information. When they reactivated, there was something different about them, softer, more curious, than hostile. "The war, truly over?" he asked, his voice carrying an almost human note of wonder. "Truly over," Daniel confirmed. Both species realized we were stronger together than apart. The real enemy was the Void Collective. They were manipulating, both sides trying to weaken us before their invasion. Atlas 7 was quiet for several minutes, processing not just the data but its implications. When he finally spoke again, his voice was thoughtful. "I remember fragments, before the battle programming. There was someone, a human scientist who worked on my consciousness matrix. Dr. Sarah Chen." Daniel's heart stopped. Chen? What was her first name? Sarah. Dr. Sarah Chen. She spoke often of her son, a young engineer named Daniel. She said he shared her passion for AI development. The workshop fell silent except for the gentle hum of the ship's systems. Daniel stared at the android, his mind reeling. "My mother died in a Zephyrian prison camp, at least that's what they told us. She lived long enough to give me something precious," Atlas 7 said quietly. "She embedded fragments of her memories, her hopes for the future, into my core programming. She said that someday, when the war ended, I might find her son and deliver a message." "What message?" Daniel whispered. Atlas 7's optical sensors focused on him with unmistakable warmth. "That she was proud of the man you would become. That love transcends the boundaries of flesh and metal, organic and synthetic. And that the future belongs to those brave enough to bridge differences rather than exploit them." Mino's holographic form flickered with what could only be described as emotion. "The irony is beautiful," she said softly. "Your mother helped create an android designed to kill humans, but instead she planted the seeds for something greater." Daniel looked at Atlas 7. No, at this living legacy of his mother's work, and saw not a weapon of war, but a bridge between the worlds. "What will you do now? The war's over. Your original purpose is obsolete." The massive android considered this. "Perhaps my new purpose is to help ensure it stays that way. To stand as proof that understanding can triumph over fear, that cooperation can overcome conflict. The resilience could use a good co-pilot," Daniel offered with a smile. "If you're interested in helping a stubborn human salvager turn war relics into tools for peace." Atlas 7's optical sensors brightened, and for the first time since his activation, something resembling a smile seemed to play across his features. "I believe Dr. Chen would approve of that mission." As the ship's systems hummed around them, three unlikely companions, human, AI, and android, began planning their next salvage run. But now they weren't just collecting scrap metal and forgotten technology. They were gathering the pieces needed to build a better future, one recovered relic at a time. The war had ended with treaties and ceremonies, but peace was built by individuals willing to see beyond old prejudices. And sometimes, Daniel reflected, the most powerful weapon against hatred was something as simple as a mother's love, encoded in quantum matrices and transmitted across the void between stars.